we knew that the Sooners were good, but this past week, we got a chance to see just how clutch this team is. From the Dodge Sports Desk, I'm Jenni Carlson, and this is OU Basketball with John Helsley. Okay, John, we saw all sorts of clutch play this last week from the Sooners. First in the Bedlam game, then at Iowa State. Is this just another dimension that this team is adding? I mean, they're already good. How many more dimensions can they add?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it is, Jenny. You know, we saw a little bit of this early in some games they had with Davidson and Purdue. You know, they had to pull some games out late, make the right moves, and they did. We've seen it a little bit in the Big 12 and, of course, twice this week. And Jeff Capel likes to call it toughness about this team. I think they've got that. He also likes to use the word reference points, in huddle or whatever. Hey, we've been here. This is how we do it. And I think some of that's coming into play.
Yeah. This week, home games, Texas A&M, a team that the Sooners have already beaten, and then Colorado, a not-so-great team from the north. Is there anything that's going to slow these guys down?
Well, you wouldn't think so. And there's always the chance anytime, especially in a conference like the Big 12, that you have a bad shooting night. Maybe Blake Griffin gets in foul trouble, something like that happens. You can get beat. But this team really has the looks of a squad that's going to continue to go and continue to win. And I think it's going to take a really big performance from someone to knock them off.
You wrote about this today in your OU Basketball Insider, where OU might rise in the rankings. Top teams keep losing, keep beating each other almost. Could it be that the Sooners are headed towards a #1 ranking in the not-too-distant future?
Yeah, great game to watch tonight. Connecticut's playing at Louisville. It's a tough place to play. It's going to be a heck of a game tonight. If Connecticut goes down, and if the Sooners are #2 later today, as we think they will be in the polls, I think there's a chance they could be the #1 team in the country come next week.
Wow. But as you also wrote today in your Insider, while rankings are nice, it's nice to say you're a #1 team, the bigger issue is #1 seeding. Where do the Sooners stand right now in terms of getting a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament?
Most of the RPI models have them at about #3 right now in the RPI. Now, that's not the only determining factor, obviously, but if they continue to win, and I think they will, it's not a great Big 12 conference this year. They've got Kansas at home. They've already beaten Texas. They have to go there, and Texas just lost at home this weekend to Kansas State. I mean, it almost looks like the perfect storm of a year for them. They have a really good team. Big 12's down a little bit. I think they're going to keep winning. I think a lot of those numbers are going to add up for them come season's end when it comes time for the tournament and drawing up the bracket.
Okay, let's go from big picture to some individuals for a minute. You don't get mid-season trades or acquisitions in college basketball, and yet the Sooners sort of got one in these last couple weeks. Juan Patillo decides he's coming out of redshirt, and lo and behold, the kid can play. What sort of impact could he have on the Sooners the rest of the way?
I think he can have a huge impact. He brings so many things. One, he can defend 4 positions on the floor. The point's about the only place he can't defend. He's athletic. He brings a lot of energy. If you notice, when he's on the floor, it seems like everything picks up a little bit. He's active, and he'll get close to the rim. He'll finish. I think he's only going to get better, too. For most of this season, he was running scout team things against them. Doesn't fully know the system yet. I think as he gets more comfortable, he's just going to add more and more to this team.
A newcomer who was expected to do big things, Willie Warren. He is producing 29 on Saturday at Iowa State. And as a freshman, he's a kid who seems to have a sense of, my team needs me now. Is that rare?
I think it's very rare. You've got to. A lot of times, freshmen are out there to prove something, or they just they're trying to find their place. Even this late in the season, the first season, he just has that knack, and he's had it all season long. Really, he's very comfortable, despite being a big time recruit. In kind of sitting back and letting Blake Griffin be the man for now, and then when he's needed, he'll do whatever's needed. And the other day they needed him, and he came up big.
All right, John's going to continue to provide in-depth coverage of the Sooners the rest of the season. To follow all the news and analysis, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.
Let's see it.